Whoever was thrown out of power in Pakistan blamed the establishment. This should be alarming for the armed forces and judiciary of the country. Right from the beginning of this country, when General Ayub Khan took over the government through a coup, the army establishment came into the politics and power game. Since then, the army establishment plays a vital role in every important decision of the state. They want to keep their strong grip on state affairs. None of the political parties could come into power without their consent, nor any party could stay in power if the agencies have reservations about that party. In Pakistan, there always has been a controlled democracy. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who used to call General Ayub Dadi, was brought into power by the then establishment and later thrown out of the PM house by the same forces. The country had to face another coup. Hence, General Ziaul Haq came into power. Benazir removed General Ziaul Haq after a decade-long struggle with the help of the international establishment. However, the local establishment also gave the go-ahead signal to the Benazir regime. General Ziaul Haq died in a plane crash incident that paved the way for Benazir Bhutto. She became the first lady PM of the Muslim world through a so-called electoral process. Subsequently, Benazir Bhutto was removed from power after the agencies decided not to let her be PM of Pakistan anymore. Later, President Ghulam Ishaq Khan, who was supposed to be the spokesperson of the then establishment, removed the BB government, invoking Article 58, 2B of the Article of the Constitution of Pakistan. Then Nawaz Sharif, who used to call General Ziaul Haq his political father, was brought into power with the consent of the army establishment after defeating PPP in the general elections. But later differences emerged between the army establishment and Nawaz Sharif on the power-sharing formula. Hence, President Ishaq Khan once again dissolved National Assembly, invoking Article 58, 2B of the Constitution. Benazir Bhutto was once again brought into power with the help of the international and local establishment, and she defeated Nawaz Sharif in the general election. But after about 3 years, President Farooq Logari, who had been a PPP worker and was sent into the presidency by BB, invoked Article 58, to be against his party regime and removed Benazir Bhutto's government on the will of the military establishment. Then Nawaz Sharif was once again given clearance by the agencies. He secured an overwhelming majority in the next election and became Prime Minister of Pakistan. But in 1999 his government was toppled by General Pervez Musharraf. Nawaz went into exile. General Musharraf ruled the country for about 8 years. After the assassination of Benazir Bhutto, the country was engulfed in flames and riots. The established decided to share power with the PPP, so the People's Party secured a majority in the National Assembly and Yusuf Raza Gilani became Prime Minister, and later Asif Ali Zardari, the then co-chairman of the party, secured the presidency. This was the first so-called democratic government that completed its 5 years in 2013. Pakistan Muslim League N, under the leadership of Mian Nawaz Sharif, once again came into power with a huge majority on the single of the establishment, and Nawaz Sharif became Prime Minister of Pakistan, but he could not complete his tenure as he once again had differences with the establishment. Supreme Court of Pakistan lifetime disqualified Nawaz Sharif. However, his party PMLN completed its 5 years term, and Shahid Khaqan Abbasi, a PMLN leader, became Prime Minister. In the 2018 elections, Imran Khan became blue-eyed of the Pakistani establishment, but his party could not secure a simple majority despite the complete support of the establishment, as Imran Khan was not a popular leader in 2018. However, he framed his government with allies who were driven to Imran Khan by the establishment. After 3 years, differences between PTI and the army chief Khmer Javed Bajwa, whose service tenure was extended by the then Prime Minister Imran Khan, emerged. So, Imran Khan was thrown out of power within a few months after the differences intensified. But Imran Khan is blaming the USA in public speeches and not saying anything directly to the military establishment to secure his political future. However, the protesters in the public meetings of PTI and on social media directly used abusive language against military leadership and judiciary. Interestingly, when Nawaz Sharif was thrown out of power, he and his supporters used the same language against the military establishment and the judiciary. Earlier, Benazir Bhutto, Asif Ali Zardari, and other PPP leaders had used harsh language against the military and agencies' abuse of power. As of now, nothing is hidden and secret in the country as far as the role of the military establishment and judiciary is concerned in the power game. Now, in the era of social media, everything is being brought in the naked form before the public. So this is the high time for the establishment and the judiciary to think to save their heads. They would have to decide their future, whether to continue with the same attitude or to stop it forever. Bells are being rung for a change.